Hi, all. We're back again today, and as you can see, the topic I've chosen for tonight is what is your real goal? First, I'd like to step back a minute and remind some of you and introduce the rest of you to the fact that Acu weight loss is becoming Acu life. And as we say, we're dropping the weight to make life better for you. And when I say, what is your goal? One of the things that I've noticed, and I have been talking more and more to people about it, is that people are focused in ways in which really do not do them justice. When we started, Dr. Chu had trained me in this Chinese American methodology, which has grown tremendously because one of the keys to our program is intermittent fasting. And what's amazing is that the Chinese who created this program created it without having the information we have and used as one of its cores intermittent fasting together with the acupressure. And what you need to understand is that unless you are the center of your world, that doesn't mean you're better or worse or good or bad. It means you have to be the center of your world. Because if you're not the center, then your goals can't be clear. And I'll give you an example. Last week, I spoke about guilt and shame. And all of us have experienced guilt and shame in our lifetime. When Dr. Chu trained me, I weighed almost 300 pounds. Almost 300 pounds. And Dr. Chu said to me, and I'm going to be straight with him, he said, I'm training you, but you can't be a weight doctor who's fat. You've got to lose weight. Now, I didn't understand at all what that meant, other than the fact that if I was going to do what he wanted me and said that I must do if I was going to change my career. Remember, I had been a psychologist for over 50 years. And one of the strange things about being a psychologist, and it probably got to me, now think about this. For over 50 years, no one had ever come to see me who was happy. It never occurred to me that that was my life. And if I was going to give up that life, I had to understand that the reason I had become grossly overweight, obese, was that I was using food to distract myself, to comfort myself, and that was my focus. And if it was going to be my focus in my head, I was going to face deprivation. Any kind of diet was deprivation. Now, my goal when we first started was I was moving from being a psychologist to being a weight loss doctor. I followed Dr. Chu's directions. And in 3 months, I lost 84 pounds. Incredible, astonishing. And what I learned has grown tremendously in those 25 plus years. And I need to transmit them to you because if you're out there watching me, whether it's live right now or it's at one of the archival sessions, then you understand that I have to have a reason for being here. And you have a reason for being here. But one of the things that I've found time and time again, here is the lack of clarity. And AccuLife is changing that, and let me explain why. Every single one of you out there wants to lose weight. There's no question about it. I want to lose weight. And you're hoping that somehow or other, maybe now because we've been in business for 25 years, that there may be something to this. But the focus has been, I want to lose weight. Now, your goal cannot be, I want to lose weight. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for anybody. And the reason is it's too narrow. It doesn't include you. One of the things that we've been talking about is that, and let's talk about me, I'm Dr. Schwartz. But I'm more than Dr. Schwartz. There are aspects to my personality that go beyond being Dr. Schwartz. And I won't speak for you, but I'll speak for me. Those aspects of my personality talk to me. I hear them. Their voices. And very few of them dominate me, but they bother me tremendously because I'm often hearing what they have to say. And one of the things I'm trying to transmit to you, there's nothing wrong with those voices. They have their opinions. And their opinions are based upon your life history. And we have two choices here. And it's very interesting because some people have called me a traitor in the sense that I was a psychologist trying to help people work through their problems for 50 plus years. And here, Dr. Chu recruits me, and I hear voices, and I begin to recognize that those voices are coming from inside me, but I'm not recommending, to me anyway, that I go into therapy. Now, therapy is terrific, but for our purposes here, as far as weight loss is concerned, why are we doing this if we're not going to finish the job? So let's start out by recognizing that once you join here, you only take step number one. You want to weigh less. Great. You want to weigh less. And let's say you're on the program for a month. Or let's say you want 60 pounds. And I go on the program for a month. And in that month, because I'm doing it exactly the way it's prescribed, doing everything the way I'm supposed to do it, I lose 15 pounds in that month. So I still have 45 pounds more for my goal. And I suddenly realize my head is not there. For whatever the reason, my head is not there. Problem number one that I have been discussing with people, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. I said, I've been on the program for a month. I've lost 15 pounds. And right now, I've had it. Now what? I'm a failure? That's it? Forget about it? Move on? And that's where we have to focus. And that's why we've changed the company from AccuWeight to AccuLife. You've heard me say it before. Drugs are drugs. But if I take drugs away from you, not anything to do with keeping you alive, I can take drugs away. I can take alcohol away from you and you'll survive. I can't take food away. And I find almost no one who can look me in the eyes and say, Doc, food is not that important to me. Okay, give it up. I can't give it up. If I give up food, I'm going to die. Okay. Well, do you want to die? Well, eventually I'm going to die. But now, the quality of your life, it's going to change if I take food away from you, isn't it? Yes, it is. Why is it we've done a month, we've lost the 15 pounds, and for whatever the issue is, I don't want to do it anymore. The two, I don't want to do it anymore. And the answer is you haven't asked the question. What do you want? What is your goal? Now, I was speaking to a woman this morning. She's been on the program for a month. She's been very successful on the program. She's lost 17 pounds. And she said to me, Dr. Schwartz, the reason I'm calling you is because I can't do it anymore. And I said, what is it you can't do? Ignore all the pressures in my life that surround food, how it impacts on my family, how it impacts on my work relationships. I want to drink every once in a while. I said, I hear you. What is your goal? And there's silence. She didn't have an answer because once she discarded with my help the fact that I don't want to do the 2 day to weigh less, her goal still was, I want to lose 45 additional pounds. And I said, why are you not doing it? Well, my head is not there. Are you in conflict? Well, what do you mean, am I in conflict? I hear you said to me you want 45 additional pounds. Well, I do want 45 additional pounds, but I don't want to do the regimen that we have set out for us. And that's where we have to focus to begin with. I want any of you out there who started the program, who did it properly, to first say to me, it doesn't work. Not I didn't do it, but I did it and it doesn't work. I wouldn't be in business for 25 plus years if it didn't work. So our goal is still to weigh less. Now, here we go. She's done a month on the program. And I said, now what? She said, I just wanted to let you know and I wanted to apologize, but I can't do this anymore. Now I want to look at you and say, there is nothing wrong with what she said, except her view of the world is too narrow. She never went beyond thinking about herself. AccuLife, our new company name, has 3 phases. And please pay attention. Phase 1, lose weight in a prescribed fashion. And what's important to understand is how we lose weight is critical for you to understand. There are no chemicals, there are no drugs. You just have to stay focused. 2 days dairy, 2 days fruits and vegetables, 2 days dairy, 2 fruits and vegetables. So acupressure, food program, and one other thing. Goal. If your goal is only to weigh less, you're going to lose. AccuLife is a program for life. I cannot tell you how many requests from companies who didn't realize that my car is a lease, who want to sell me these insurance policies having to do with breakdowns and stuff like that. Now, I have a leased car. I negotiated when I got my lease that all service was warranted for 3 years. I don't need their policy because my dealer is going to take care of it. But suppose I had purchased the car. All those warranties would be off, and I would be careful because something going wrong could hurt me. And here's now what I want you to understand. You and I are human beings. That means we are machines who are alive. And my job, hopefully your job as well, is for me to Hi, people. I'm. That was an interesting one. My phone rang, and whoever it was trying to contact me, maybe from the netherworld, uh, got me knocked off. Now, let's go back. You are a living machine. I am a living machine. I want to live as long as I can in a healthy manner so that I can enjoy the quality of my physical life. AccuWeight and now AccuLife is different from all other programs. First of all, it goes back over 1,000 years. And intermittent fasting, which is a major component of this program, was invented over 1,000 years ago and is the rage nowadays. And the more they learn about intermittent fasting, the longer they're beginning to recognize that it's incredibly healthy. We're not using drugs, we're not using anything except acupressure and intermittent fasting with a food component that simulates, let's say, a 10-month-old. And you know that a 10-month-old's diet is the fastest period of growth for human beings. Now, one of the things we've learned about intermittent fasting is really incredibly interesting. We're eating from 12 to 6. And stick with me just for a minute so you can connect with what I'm going to say. You're only eating from 12 to 6. When you massage those beads, they talk to your brain. Electricity, a neural impulse, call it what you like. If you touch your foot, you feel it, don't you, in your head? When you massage those beads, they talk to the hypothalamus. It stimulates the hypothalamus, and over a period of a few days, 4 to 10 days, let's say, hunger diminishes and goes away because that gland the hypothalamus controls satisfaction. No magic. You stimulate it, and it says satisfied. So except for dehydration, no big issue. Secondly, and this is important, it blocks the body's ability to count calories. Now, if you can't count calories, then we don't know how many calories you're intaking. And they base everything nowadays on 2,000 calories. So let's say between milk, fruits, and vegetables, I'm giving you 500 calories a day. You're short 1,500 calories a day. Let's round it out. 3,000 calories is a pound. So every 2 days, and so for me to promise you a minimum of 15 pounds every 30 days, as long as you stick to the regimen, it's there. But Dr. Schwartz, I have a problem. What's your problem? I don't want to do it anymore. You finished? No. I still have 45 pounds to lose, but I can't do this anymore. Okay. So what are you going to do now? I don't know. And here's where I want you to begin to focus. It's how you are different from me, and I am different from you, and everybody is different from everybody else, because I'm the only one who counts for me. You're the only one who counts for you. When you lose weight, it makes me feel good. I'm happy I contributed to it. My life doesn't change. When you lose 45 pounds, your life changes. When you've lost 15 pounds and have not reached your goal, you can't be happy. What are you going to do now? And that's why AccuLife, it's 3 phases. The first phase is weight loss. The second phase is developing a lifestyle that works for you. And the third phase is carrying out that lifestyle, and like with an automobile or something like that, once or twice a year. And for me, it's usually around January and around June that I do 1 or 2 weeks of cleansing and detoxifying on the program. And it's fine. But I've finished the first month now, and I don't want any more. What am I going to do? Now, here's where I want you to pay attention. Did you learn how to keep it off? Did you learn how to change weight set point? No, you haven't. And why haven't you? Because I didn't lose the 30 I still need to lose. Help me understand why I can't stop phase 1, which is weight loss, and go on to phase 2, where I learn to maintain the 15 pounds that I took off. Well, because so you can't tell me. Nobody says that you have to do phase 1 totally, phase 2, phase 3. How about becoming a person who takes charge of themselves and becomes the center of their life, makes themselves number 1. I didn't say better. I said number 1. I'm the most important person in my life. How about you? When I was 299 pounds, I didn't like the me that I got up in the morning with. And he followed me around 7 days a week. From the moment I got up, I don't know whether I dreamed with him or not, until I went to sleep at night. And when Dr. Chu said to me, you can't be a weight loss doctor and be fat, he was telling the truth. And I was fat for personal reasons. I was tired of being someone who people only came to see when they were unhappy. And I don't know whether you know it or not, being a psychologist and doing therapy is hard work, because the most important thing is to teach people how to take control of their lives and make their lives better. And I had no idea. The word for me was burnout. And that's when I was voices. No, they didn't come from out in the neighborhood. They came out from inside me. I was driving to work, and the voice said to me, because I knew who my first patient was going to be, she hasn't made any progress in about a month and a half. You think it'll be any different today? And I heard me answering myself saying, no. Do you think she'll know if you're not there? Why don't you take an image of yourself, put it in your chair, she won't even know the difference. And that voice wouldn't shut up. And I was very unhappy, and that's how I gained all that weight. Because I didn't take control of me. The woman I spoke to this morning, she said, what are my choices? And I said, you've had it. How about we first do phase number 2 to stabilize you and to teach you how to create a lifestyle that'll work for you. And she said to me, you mean go off the program? I said, I didn't say what you should do. What I said is, you agreed you didn't finish you didn't finish phase 1. And you don't want to do phase 1 anymore. Not right now. You're not there. So start phase 2. And when you start phase 2, the 15 pounds that you've lost, you'll keep off. That's good. But how should I do that? Do phase 2. You mean I can do phase 2? Who's going to stop you? And once you've finished phase 2, we can then go on to phase 3, which is having a lifestyle that gives you what you've learned how to do. Well, suppose, and that was delicious, because she began to think and ask me questions. She said, what would happen if I only did the program 2 days a week? I said, do you have to lose 15 pounds every 30 days? Well, I would like to. And this is one of the things I want you to understand. People don't answer their own questions. If you're the boss of you, you can do what you choose to do if it fits in with what your goal is. Her goal didn't change. She still wants to lose another 45 pounds. Now, if she has a methodology which works for her, then she won't lose 15 pounds every 30 days. Look at all of those programs out there. They all have shortcuts. They all have rationales and reasons for it. And none of those programs are successful because they don't put you back in charge. It's your life. And you have to understand all the things that are happening to you. And you can't do so without having some insight, not therapy. And I remember what I said. I would never knock therapy. But we don't have to do therapy to weigh less. What we have to do is become the center of our own world. So we started to talk about the fact that maybe 5 days a week she would do the program, and she'd, on weekends, not do the program. And then she began to develop different kinds of scenarios. Now, that was the exciting part, because I helped her beginning to see that she could control her life if she was clear about her goals. She wanted her body to look different than what it looked today. She was still 45 pounds short of what she thought her body should be. Did you hear anything out there tell her how long it should take? But how about not throwing away all the progress she has made? Of not throwing away the fact that for a month she did the program. She was the center of her world there. It was working for her. She was happy. And now we just throw it all away. Why? And the answer is you don't throw it all away. Phase 1, now we do phase 2 and phase 3. And you see the difference in AccuLife. And we begin to introduce a methodology that gives us a lifestyle that can be with us till the end of time. And this is the other part that we have to talk about. And that's part of the reason for these Monday night podcasts. Did you know that tremendous breakthroughs are being made in medicine today? Some of them very natural. I'll give you a simple example. I do a tremendous amount of reading, and that's because I don't do very much of anything else. My wife insists that I stop chasing women, so now I have really a lot of time on my hands. And I read a lot, and I research a lot. And I have discovered that the Qigong breathing is greater than I ever thought it was. I thought it increased the flow of oxygen through my body, which was very healthy for my body, and it also relaxed me. And it does all of that. But new science has indicated that the Qigong breathing contributes to longevity. It slows and reverses the aging process. Now, no drugs. I'm going to live longer, at least I believe, and healthier. And then there are the other things that I wish to teach you. For example, and just simplistically, this is the middle of winter. Vitamin D is exceptionally important to support your immune system. In the winter, especially in the northern hemisphere, in the winter, and in the southern hemisphere in their winter, you could lie naked outside and your body would not produce any vitamin D3. Now, if vitamin D is a center of your immune system and you're deficient in vitamin C, a D3, then you're vulnerable. So one of the things, particularly since the pandemic, I have told every patient that I talk to that in the wintertime, particularly, you should have your vitamin D3 tested, but you should also be taking, and ask your doctor how he feels about it, at least 5,000 units of vitamin D3 a day. You take a tiny little pill, you pop it in your mouth, you're boosting your immunity system. Should we be talking about it? I think we should. And that's why I'm here. I don't sell AccuWeight Loss or AccuLife on this program. I answer all your questions. I ask you to communicate. You don't want to talk to me directly? Send me an email. The other thing, and it's simple, there is no such thing as a stupid question. I don't know the answer. So if I ask you and I don't know the answer, how could my question be stupid? But we don't ask questions because you're going to think that I'm stupid. This is the AccuLife community. I enjoy myself tremendously seeing you guys grow and change. But this guilt and shame, lack of clarity and goals is a tremendous problem. Because when I'm 299 pounds, you know that I'm not obese? There's a secret? And if I say I want to lose weight, I got to be embarrassed? I don't have to know how I got to 299 pounds. I got there. And I wasn't happy with me. If you are 299 pounds, and I was at that time 6'2", I'm a little shorter nowadays. Even at 6'2", 299 pounds is big. And when I tried to lose weight, I didn't want to hear. And the reason I didn't want to hear is because I was using food to comfort myself, to distract myself. I didn't have to think. And then I had a goal. Dr. Chu said to me, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to recruit you, you're going to help me with the study that I'm doing. And then he convinced me to start what was then AccuWeight. And he says to me, you can't be a weight doctor and be fat. So I had a choice: become a weight doctor, and I found it intriguing, or not. The first week on what was then AccuWeight was one of the most difficult times I've ever had. To begin with, I personally felt I was in a... I started with milk, and I was smart. I got the Walden Farms chocolate syrup. I put it in the thermos, and I went to work. Problem: came 12 o'clock, and I love chocolate milk. Came 12 o'clock, I filled the cup with chocolate milk, drank it down, and within an hour, somewhere between 12 and 1, I finished the thermos. All the milk was gone. I was mortified because I was used to eating. I enjoyed the chocolate milk, and I didn't know there was so much I still had to learn. That hunger was psychological. And the fact that I had been a psychologist didn't mean that I truly was paying attention and understood me. Well, I want you to pay attention, and I want you to understand you. You want to create a lifestyle that works for you. Now, let me explain something else about this intermittent fasting that we do. After 6 o'clock, you don't take in any calories. It's very simple. You have extra carbs in your body. When you stop eating at 6 o'clock, you begin to use up those calories. And when you use up those calories, then you have no more calories. And now you have a problem because you're starving. Remember, you only got 500 calories. And when you are starving, humans go back to their origins when food was not abundant. This is normal. It was plenty or starving. They didn't have fields. They didn't have grocery stores. They didn't have processed foods. And so the body now, and I'm talking about those of you who wish to weigh less, the body now converts the fat in your body into a sugar called glycogen, and you begin to lose weight by burning the sugar that comes from the fat in your body without chemically altering you. And this is the beauty of this program. It doesn't alter your metabolism. And once you create a lifestyle that works for you, I have kept off those 84 pounds for 25 years. And no, I do not diet. I have a lifestyle that works for me. And because I want you to understand it's personal to me, it only is good for me. And it's only good for me because it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, it's not good for you, and we have to figure out a different one. But you have to be in control and the boss in your own life. And we have to get rid of this guilt and shame and understand that we're growing, becoming more of ourselves. I hated that voice who was bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And finally I'd say, all right already. And I'd put something in my mouth. It distracted me. It comforted me. I hated it, but I was comfortable. Now, what do I do now? I found when I lost those 84 pounds that the only way I could maintain my weight, and it was through experimentation, I now only eat one meal a day. No, I'm not starving and everything is fine. Today was a weekday. And because I was working, today I ate lunch. Sometime later this evening, and I already have it in mind, I'm going to have some watermelon and tea. I love watermelon. Down here in Florida, I don't know about up north, there's watermelon down here. And I have fruit in the evening. And I don't need because I'm not hungry. It doesn't work for me on weekends. I have a wife. There are people that I know that I share experiences with. And on weekends, sometimes people go out to eat and I go out to eat with them. So I don't have lunch on the weekend. On the weekend, I have my one meal. It's worked for me for over 20 years. Now, some people, you only eat one meal a day. Now, what kind of question is you only eat one meal a day? What's the incredulity? I just said to you, I eat one meal a day during the day on weekdays and one meal a day at night on the weekends. And I finish, by the way, 2 hours before I go to bed. It works for me. It doesn't work for you? Okay. Do I look sick? Am I unhappy? Do I feel deprived? No. Because I eat real food. I'll tell you what I had today. I had salad and a piece of salmon, and that's it. I enjoyed it very much. And here's another thing that I learned. I buy free range salmon. I had no idea that farmed salmon is painted. I don't know exactly what it is, but they color the skin so it looks pink. They don't do that with free range salmon. Now, salmon is a wonderful food. I had my lunch today, and I promise you, when I finish here tonight, because I bought it, I'm going to have watermelon. No, I'm not going to have the whole watermelon. I'll have, I don't know how many ounces. I enjoy it. I love it. I'll enjoy it, and I'll be fine. And I also, and here I'm not into the problems with sweetener. I do know that all the sweeteners out there cause problems in your gut. So several years ago when they came out with it, I used a kind of stevia because I have never heard of any product out there that is negative as far as the input of stevia. Now, why can't you do it? Why can't you design a lifestyle that works for you? And you know why? Because you are not ready to say, I'm the most important person in my world. When I take care of me, it spreads out to everybody else around me. When I don't take care of me, it affects my relationship with the rest of the world, and it affects the rest of the world's relationship with me. So what am I saying? AccuWeight is going away. AccuLife is supplementing AccuWeight. There are 3 phases. They're individualized for you. They will create for you a lifestyle that not only can live, but if you give us the opportunity and interact with us, we'll educate you how to live happier, longer, healthier. There's so much out there that's happening now that we can share with you. For example, I have a protocol from a fine physician. His name is Rothfeld. And he has a protocol to build your immune system so you don't get sick. It's stuff that you take, vitamins, no drugs, but it boosts your immune system. It's something, God forbid, if you have to go for surgery, you do it before surgery to build you up, and you do it after surgery to help you heal. It's all natural. It works. I, for example, had an incredibly terrible reaction to the flu shot. I took it only once. I have not taken the flu shot since. Instead, I use this protocol and I almost never get sick. Now, if I don't get sick, look at all the time I'm saving and look at all the prescription drugs that I don't have to use because the other ailments are not there. With COVID, I'm different. I decided that I would take the Johnson & Johnson. And so I took the Johnson & Johnson. And I got COVID. And I healed from the COVID. You can see I'm still here. And I took the booster shot also. And now I'm fully boosted. And I know, because it happened, I got COVID for the second time. Only this time the COVID I got was like nothing. So I'm not for and against. I'm the most important person in my life, and I'm going to do the things that make sense to keep me going and to try at the same time to treat you in a manner which causes your quality of life to improve. But I can't make you do anything. So if you don't ask questions, if you don't investigate, I'll be here waiting for you. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being in my life. Take care.